Hey, I'm an idiot. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's, I needed to unmute myself. Thank you. I am having that kind of an evening. So nothing bad. I know I've missed some streams here and there and also missed streams with Sako, and I hate doing that, but life got a little bit in the way. Sako will be here with me a little bit later. She's just running a few minutes late, so just want to say hi to everybody. Jenny, hi. RC, hi. Okay. If you say so. Hey, cool gamer. Good to see you. Ooh, am I too loud? All right, let me turn me down. Sorry. How is that? Is that a little better? All right, I got it turned down just a little bit. I haven't seen you for a while, Dawdling Rider. It's good to see you. I can be pretty loud, so if I am too loud, y'all just let me know. Because, like I said, I can be really loud. That's just my mouth. Okay, so we've got Sako on in the background. I am going to roll my little credit real quick for, that intro thing. And, yeah, we'll be right back in a moment. Maybe. You're lucky. All right, we are back. Everybody, I think, knows me, but I am BC. This is my channel, BC Brown Books. I am a writer. I like to say that I specialize in murder and magic, psychics and serial killers. That's kind of what I do. Yeah.
Howdy, neighbors. Yes. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as Cass Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. Usually when I'm putting together a book, like I'm doing tonight with BC.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was just telling folks that I've been missing streams just because I'm a little late, or because I got a little bit of life stuff going on. Nothing bad, just some life stuff in general.
Me too.
Anything particularly good life-wise for you?
I might have. I don't know. My husband might be very disappointed in me.
Why? Why for?
Because I was spending time with him, and the clock rung 9, and I was like, she has it set for 9:10. I have 5 more minutes.
I just realized that. I was like, why is it telling me I still have 7 minutes to count down? It's after. And then I went and looked, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go in. I was like, oops. That's what happens.
When this stream is over, I have duties to fulfill when I'm done.
I understand. If you have duties to fulfill before then, love, that's okay too. That's chill. Okay. I want to talk about one thing before we jump into what we're doing with the book and the sequel and everything. Ooh, we got more folks. Hold on. I can't even. Wow. Gee. Just a little love from RC.
Yeah.
Hey, Ava. Good to see you.
RC's a big dork.
Yeah, big dork. But, so I wanted to talk about something. I don't know how many of you saw this already. It did happen almost a week ago, so it's possible that everybody saw it already. No problem. Hey, Adega. I want to discuss something terrible, in my opinion. Let me see if I can find it. I'm going to share a very interesting thing I found. AI-generated science fiction novel wins literary prize and the last word is China. Let that sink in. AI-generated science fiction novel just won a literary prize in China. I am so pissed about this. I am not on the anti-AI train at all.
I kind of am, for reasons differing from yours, I think.
Yeah, so I'm not on the anti-AI train. AI can be very useful for helping streamline efficiency for writers, helping manage projects, helping kind of get out of the way or spur ideas. Like stuff like that, I don't mind. Using AI to help in like photo editing and photo manipulation type stuff, like AI to make a smarter background removal, whatever. Some stuff like that, I'm not anti, but
it's RK and JK. Hi, Joanne.
We got lots of people popping in. Good to see everyone.
The Just Eva Award for fiction books. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to scroll down a little bit so we can see. So, I guess only one of these judges in China was aware that the entry was AI generated, is what it's saying. Let's see. It was written
66 prompts. It says,
yeah,
suggesting a Kafka-esque writing style.
Yeah. So, I'm assuming this is a Chinese literary award. I don't recall seeing it anywhere on like U.S. Literary World Awards or anything like that. It's just that I don't know. Oh, and here's one that I didn't even know. This past April, a Berlin-based photographer won the Sony World Photography Awards with an AI image.
Only to reject the prize because he's like, we should not be able to compete in similar content.
No, if we're going to have that, kind of a thing, it needs to have its own category. And in literature, in art, in photography, and whatever it is. So I am anti-AI when it comes to replacing creative works that a person can do. I'm anti that. But I do see its usefulness and I do see its purpose. But it's like anything. It can be corrupted and it can be used. And if we're just not being careful about stuff like this, when we hear that only one of the judges was aware that it was an AI, that it was AI generated is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that was my rant. I just wanted to get out of the way. RC, all those words are now illegitimate. Probably. Yeah. Well, to me they are. They're void. They don't make any sense to me. Ava is not on the hating AI train. Just doesn't need it. I'll admit, I've used it to help me organize things, like organize thoughts.
I've used it to outline stuff.
Yeah, outlining, organize thoughts. I've dumped, I keep, I'm sure you do too, sketchbooks, notebooks, whatever around, and I tend to write things little notes to myself. Yeah. I've got 800 of them. And every so often I go in and I try to find, put them all together in what it was I was thinking, especially if I was just jotting down ideas, something like that.
Soul Free Wolf. Hello.
Soul Free Wolf. Good to see you.
I don't know you. But
I think you do.
Welcome.
Welcome. We're going to get to writing here in a minute. I was just, we're ranting about how an AI generated.
I could go on from the artist standpoint.
Right?
With the copyright and the stolen artwork and that is used in the making of some
teaching
of those fucking book covers.
Yeah. It's just, I can go on and on about it. Just looking for stock photography or stock video or anything like that for any purpose at all. You can set parameters in most of them where you can download them, where you can either pay or you can get free and download it. You can usually set exclude AI generated images, but they still pop up. They still come up anyway because
It's not tagged.
Because
the metadata isn't tagged.
Exactly. And it just kills me. Yeah, here we go. Award title. Best AI book. Sure. And it should never, ever be compared with any other literary work. Like, because it's not fair. It's based on that other literary work, probably, most likely. So it shouldn't be. But that's my big rant for the day. Soul Free Wolf doesn't have a problem with AI, but doesn't agree with it being used in artistic use, especially since it draws its info from human authors without permission. Exactly. Human authors, human writers. Not writers. Human writers, human artists, human. You can generate sounds and everything else through AI. They're getting there. So that's probably, people's music. That's musicians and video. You can do video with it. And so that's probably some dancers' videos. It's just my big. It's not fair to the authors. And next up, it's not fair to the readers either. But yeah, artists, authors, it's just not fair to anybody. What if AI is only compared to dead authors? Some dead authors, their estates still own copyright. It'd have to be
in the public domain.
That's what I agree with there, 100%. It's got to be something that has been released to public domain.
Like the Fitzgerald stuff is not public domain.
Mm-mm. But there are lots of things that, there are tons of things that are public domain. Like, for music and stuff like that. But I just saw it earlier today and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And back to, there are a lot of dead authors at their estate. Their generations still own the copyright. Tolkien is a really great example of that. His family, they own everything. Still. And they have to get permission. Everybody has to get permissions, and they're pretty tight with their, like, what they will allow to be licensed out and things like that. So, but public domain, sure. Public domain, let them learn. Let the machine learn, but whatever.
Use public domain in their studies and when they're just kind of like Aesop's fables, for instance, like a fable that is used to flow copy, so you understand how to do typesetting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and that makes sense to me. But
yeah, it can be used for teaching purposes. It can be used for, tutoring. It can be used for all sorts of purposes, but not for replacing the human in the arts.
I have a friend who has been using Photoshop and Maya and photography to do these amazing portraits of Black women. And he has now gone into the fray of AI art, helping him in this endeavor. And it's better than normal AI art, that's for sure. But it just baffles me.
I don't hate AI art. Not all of it. Some of it's really terrible. Some of it's actually pretty decent. But it's just that, Soul Free Wolf saying the same. It's no place in stealing intellectual property. There have to be protections. It's going to. And the sad thing is that, well, there are. Theoretically, there are copyright protections, but technically, that's not named in copyright, like being protected from.
George R.R. Martin got up on his high horse regarding AI author stuff stealing his Game of Thrones stuff.
Mm-hmm.
and he took him to court and won.
There are fortunately enough larger named influential authors that are like, no, you used my intellectual property that I have copyrighted in order to teach your machine how to do something that then spit back out a recycled version of mine and 50 other people's similar themed, words and copyright stuff. So I get what you're saying.
Soul Free Wolf is a friend from another circle of mine.
Oh,
like I know him under a different name. Is all. He just messaged me.
Okay. It was just like, yeah,
like,
sometimes
I'm
people,
this guy.
yeah, some people will pop on. I'm like, I don't know that handle, but the thumbnail picture will look, the avatar will look vaguely familiar, and then I'm trying to figure it out, but yeah, see, this is what he's saying. It doesn't actually learn. It just uses others' works as a form of an algorithm to draw on. And yeah, I think it's valid that you think it doesn't have any place in the way of being used to make money off of. Scientific use.
Also, the pros that AI, like ChatGPT specifically, came up with was garbage.
Oh God, they're terrible.
Like absolute garbage. So I basically just took it as an outline and fucking rewrote it. But like still made me yeah.
So I'm not sure, Ava. I do know that like the UK
it depends. It depends on the country, and it depends on the person who owns the rights.
Yeah. So I'm not entirely sure about the copyright law, the international copyright laws and things like that. Oh, the Crown of Stars series, RC. I'm so glad you know that series. Kate Elliott. She actually inspired. Some elements in my fantasy world that I have been building for ages, and hopefully will have my epic fantasy out at some point. But the whole I'm trying to think how she has it set up, RC, where she has like the different circles of heaven, or the different circles of the planes and stuff like that. That is what I ended up taking it from. And I didn't take. I just was like, that is a cool idea, and can I elaborate on that? Mm-hmm. Kind of a thing. You didn't rewrite it. You fucking rewrote it. Yeah, we don't hold copyright in other nations on, well, it depends, Ava. If you can pay extra for international copyright protections when you do your copywriting. But I think it has to be done through a copyright, like an attorney. I think it has to be done that way, because it's like
patented.
Yeah, it has to be patented. I think that's the word. Yeah. How AI gets around things.
You need a notary.
Yeah, something like that. I
used to play D&D with a notary, and she took her stamp press thing, or the actual notarizer, and she would notarize our character sheets. So our
official
characters were officially ours.
Official creations of. I love that. Need to make friends with the notary, apparently. But yeah, the Crown of Stars. Yeah, I don't own all the books. I owned them. I owned the first 4, I think it was, at one point in, like physical format. And we ended up moving, and they, like 2 of them got really damaged, and it was like the first 2. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll donate the other 2, and then I'll pick them back up. And I haven't picked them back up. I've read them. So no, the other nation doesn't have to honor the copyright law. There's always going, as I tell everyone, Oh, here we go. Ava just follows up. Some peoples will always break the rules. It doesn't matter how many rules we put in place. It doesn't matter how many hypothetical situations we try, how many scenarios we try to go through.
My husband's artwork was stolen by Chinese manufacturers, and then they sold it to Books A Million. So I walk into a bookstore, and Books A Million has a end cap or whatever
of all of hubby's stuff.
Of hubby's stuff, and we don't get paid for it.
No, and you'd have to have big bucks to take on Books A Million, because while a lot of brick and mortar chains are,
it's not just that, they changed it just enough so that it legally passes.
Yes, so I found out about that when I was trying to get out of my contract. So my epic fantasy world has been published. Yeah, it has been published previously. It was published 2007. It was the first book I ever published. It was an utter nightmare. I tried to get out of the contract. I was not selling it. It wasn't selling. I was not promoting it. Nothing. I was still locked into the contract. They would not let me out. So I looked into how much I would need to change the book, the series and everything, in order to be able to claim it as something new. And you have to change it like 30 or
60%.
Well, yeah, about 60%. So you can change, and it can't just be coloration. It has to be
right.
Yeah, it has to be like changing actual elements that are not just changing around the colors. So, like, if I took Sako's black and white picture that was on the thumbnail for this, it's hers, or whoever took it, but it's hers. She owns it. But and I went in and just colorized it. Not good enough. Even though that's a significant change to the image, it's not enough. So yeah, it has to be like 6. Yeah, you can only have like 30 or 40% left of the original work. And I was like, that is a lot of work for my epic fantasy series. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait out that contract. And I did. Yeah, the rules do tend to get broken by people who make them more than the rest of the people. I agree with all of that. So I am. Most people know me that I'm not like pro capitalism. I'm not pro the U.S. most anything except for some of our rights. Most of our rights, except for the ones that keep getting denied for no reason. Kind of a thing. But other than that. So Ava is working on drafting a children's picture book story. Oh, cool. Ava got us back on track. Ava's is like, all right, we're writing.
All right. So or is this a chat? Are we writing, or is this a chat?
We can chat more tonight if you want to chat more, or I want to do a couple of sprints. There's a couple of admin things that I need to get to for today because I got swamped at work kind of in the later half of the day. But I figure everybody else probably wants at least a sprint or two. So let me share our 20-minute timer. All right. So if everybody could see that, we are going to put 20 on the clock and get going in 3, 2, 1. Sprint. We'll see y'all in 20. All right, y'all. That is the end of the first 20-minute sprint. How did y'all do? We had a few folks pop in. Let me see if I can scroll up and get to where they are to get up there. The only thing I hate about StreamYard, well, not the only thing, but the biggest thing I hate about StreamYard is just the comment section jumping around. So, we had Felicia joined us, our Dreaming Truth author. There's a bunch of haze going back and forth. There's Sako and I talking about the things we need to do and don't want to do in the chat. You know, kind of a thing. Just folks saying hi to everyone, basically.
Mm-hmm.
What hasn't StreamYard fixed?
Oh, so when you comment, you're commenting on your stream.
Oh, yeah.
And when I comment, I'm commenting on my stream.
Yeah, that's another thing I hate.
That's something that they broke. And they haven't
It used to work fine, yeah.
It used to work fine. And because there was like a little carrot that you could click to say which stream you were going to be posting on. But they broke it. So
they broke it.
They haven't fixed it. They haven't fixed it.
And this is so cool. Mama Maggie got herself a new keyboard for Christmas. Love. Ooh, I like clicky springy keys. It has clicky springy keys.
And it's a new computer.
Oh, nice. All together. Weird texture. Yeah, we're all like, woo-hoo, new stuff. But yeah, they have a weird texture to them. Yeah, there are some that would probably bug me at first, but I think I would get used to it eventually. But this is the one that would get me big time. Is like, I just realized I didn't turn that off. But yeah, that's
the power key is on my Mac. It's nefariously close.
Yeah, it's so on my laptop. Yeah, it's because I've got an older Mac and it's way too close. It's just way too close.
I have a newer Mac, and the little Siri button / power button is nefariously close to my delete button. Not a good.
That's why I do have a benefit. A bonus of being married to an IT wife, and she builds me my keyboards. So the power keys are where they need to be, and there's no caps lock at all on my computer on my keyboard because I've disabled it because I hit it all the time, kind of a thing. So looks like Felicia was spending some time with family, which is cool. Love that. Yeah. As I was saying in the notes, I really do like, or in the comments, I really do like getting to hang out with my family. It's just chaotic. And with my anxiety issues, it just gets way too, because we're all very loud talkers and very, we took from the movie Tu Wong Fu, when they have, that there are 4 steps to becoming a drag queen. That last one, the larger than life, is just the right size. Everybody in my family took that to heart. Myself included. I'm not going to say it. It wasn't me too. So. But
she's writing off the Computron.
Ooh. I don't blame you. There you go. You can use it. You can write it off. Oh, little reindeer. Oh, leftover yams. Ooh. We didn't have yams this year. No. So. Yeah, I think it's the pun intended, so you can write it off. It's a writing job. But also probably not. RC. Yeah, I have no doubt, RC, that you can probably talk loud, when you want to. So, as y'all can see, as y'all at the beginning of the stream noted, I speak too loud often, and often have to tinker with my sound. My wife talks about it all the time. She's always like, you, that was a little loud, honey. I'm like, I'm sorry. The mostly deaf girl doesn't monitor my volume levels very well. Like, I can't whisper. I haven't been able to whisper in years. Like, what I think is a whisper, everybody's like, you're just flat out talking. I'm like, oh, well, damn. All right, so I am almost at the end of Let's Torture the First Vampire thing, so I'm very happy. I've got maybe a paragraph or two left, I think.
So Kyler speaks in fragments?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes. It just depends on what... Like, if they're doing text conversations, then yeah, probably. But, like... So Kyler's such a consummate performance artist, I think. Like, they're just really good that they kind of match. I feel like that they tend to match their audience or match their what they think the person wants, kind of a thing, like how they want to be communicated with. I feel that I've always felt that there's something with their ability that just makes it very easy for them to kind of just communicate the way people need them to.
Right.
Oh. Oh, what did I just do? I'll figure it out. But yeah, so I got to that.
I was doing another editing pass, and doing a little bit of self-care.
It's a good thing. I'm gonna have to do self-care in this next sprint. And by self-care, I pretty much mean animal care, but that's self-care for me.
Yeah,
so,
I got you.
Yeah. Hey, JK, good to see you. Page by page formatting check for January pub. You broke $101 this year in sales. Nice. Very nice. That's actually, I mean, that's not bad depending on what your percentage is that you set it at, or that's actually pretty good. So I have not done my year end. I don't think it's going to be much because, I've not been promoting much for the last few years, but I haven't done my year end bookkeeping for the BC Brown books portion of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I need to. I don't want to. I really hate doing it. Cold moon self-care. Ooh, cut your hair. Have a bubble bath. Very good.
Nice.
Very good. You made zero profits. Well, I don't know that. I rarely make what I call profit. It usually goes right back into the books, or so I can do some updating or something like that, or it goes back into marketing for the books. So I don't usually make any kind of a profit. I can't say that. There have been a few years where I've made a decent profit at the end of the year, and by decent I mean I'm still a small time author, etc., etc.
Right.
And it's like, I think my best year, and I was so thrilled, was like I made just under $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
That was just after the second paranormal mystery book that I wrote came out, and I was like, wow. So the whole, if you want to sell more of you want to sell more of the book that you just wrote, write another book, is very true. Because the first book, I mean, it did decently, but it didn't do anything like that in numbers. And then second one came out, and lo and behold, everybody needed the first book too. So that was pretty cool. You're doing better than me, Poultry Wolf. You've just been at it a week. Mine's been like a month almost that I've logged any words on anything.
It's been since November for me.
Yeah.
I haven't written anything since.
It just life happens.
Except for like goal stuff. I've
written
goal stuff.
Yeah. I've written some goal stuff. I did. I got a few of the second edition updates, revisions done to books 1 and 2 of the Paranormal and Mystery series. I got some of those done, but those aren't new words. They're all words that I already had written before, cut out, and or recycled from something, or changed around and updated. 2024 is your year, Eva? Okay, 2024, everybody, we know it now. We'll get our pre-ordering, we'll get our pre-orders and our wallets ready to go when you are.
Indeed.
Doing 20 times better. No one expects to be the next great author. We all just love telling the stories. Exactly. Growing up, that was the biggest thing, because my family was more or less supportive. And I think yours was too, right, Sako? Like, your family's been fairly supportive of your art and your writing, and
especially with my first book.
that's good.
My dad sent me jewelry that said "You fucking got this," like engraved in silver. And I got like, and my mom, I gave my dad a copy of Hope's Chest, like a print copy, because I had like a handful left. And my mom read it, and then she basically like advertised my book to her nurses.
Ooh.
And so her nurses, the book has been passed around the nurse's office. And then one of the nurses was like, I want to introduce this to my book club.
That's helpful.
And I was like, Mom.
Like, really?
Really?
Yeah. I didn't get that lucky. I didn't have any like immediate family that was in a book club. Fortunately, I just have a whole lot of family, and more than a few friends. And I'm always willing to do conventions and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, that's so sweet of your dad. He's so sweet. Like everybody.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But no, what you were gonna say, you're starting to say something, and I was still like,
I lost my train of thought, and I'm trying to log into Storyteller's Vault. Speaking of Hope's Chest,
having issues?
I am. I would like
Let's
to
look.
Maybe I do this
Or this? What do I do?
Yes. No. Yes.
I'm loving it.
Yes. Okay. Account. Do I have money? I made $2.82.
There we go. But that's just from Hope's Chest.
That's just from Hope's Chest.
Okay. Excuse me.
Which means I sold at least a couple copies.
No, it wasn't to me. Not this year. I think I bought it like pretty soon after we started writing Flambeau together, I think.
Oh, yeah?
I think it was. Can't remember now.
I've gotten some nice reviews on Hope's Chest on like Goodreads.
That's good. Goodreads for actually getting reviews, me likes.
You know, like that's the only place I've been able to find reviews. They won't review it on Amazon or on Storyteller's Vault.
It's weird. The Goodreads, however, I don't know if anybody heard the scandal. A little tea being dished about Goodreads. Okay. It was about an author who was deliberately going in and writing themselves. They made a whole bunch of burner accounts like emails and stuff and burner accounts on Goodreads and went in and were giving themselves, it's not just that they were giving themselves 5-star reviews, it's that they then went into their same genre and started giving 1 stars to a bunch of other authors, but not just a bunch of other authors, specifically a bunch of other authors of color. Now, this writer is claiming that this author has come clean, although they tried to, like pretend it was something else or somebody else did it or whatever. Has since come clean and said that they claim they were not trying to be racist or whatever, but I can't see that. Why would you go in specifically only? She had to have noticed. And I'm trying to remember the author's name.
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so I was just like, you've got to be kidding me on like what's going on.
Kate Corain.
Yes, that was it. Blamed her meds for the review bombing authors of color. Yeah, it just
sucks,
right? And this leads me into another thing, since we were talking about like AI generation stuff earlier and like photo manipulation and things like that. Since my first 2 books, my main character in my paranormal mystery series, most people know that my main character, she's African American. She is based entirely off of a friend of mine. My friend is my sensitivity reader because it is her. Like, it's her. The only thing that's different is some of my snark comes through instead of some of her snark comes through. But yeah, but it's really hard to find like stock photography that's actually decent stock photography for like cover art and for promotional materials, collateral and stuff like that of African American women, unless they're like supermodel gorgeous or they've got them decked out in whatever cultural garb or whatever it is that they're wearing. And I was like, I just need an American Black woman with short hair. That's what I need. And I've been having the hardest trouble finding it. So I thought things like that would be helpful to be able to get more, since photographers don't seem to want to take much mini pictures and offer them up for, licensing or whatever. That could be a helpful purpose for AI and things like that. But it would still be, it still has to be based on something, and it's still stealing someone. I agree with you, Maggie. It didn't even sound that good. I went and was like, well, the blurb's not that great, so. Decided rating 4 to 5 stars on Storygraph, rounding up to 5 on Goodreads. Few go lower. Oh yeah, I DNF books that I'm not enjoying, and I'm not nice about it. Not that I like go and yell at anybody or give bad reviews. If I DNF a book, it typically I will only give it about 20 pages. If it can't catch my attention in 20 pages, I'll put it on my try again later, which my TAL shelf. And then when I pick it up later, if I can't get through the first chapter, sorry about my dryer, y'all. If I can't get past the first chapter, then it's a total DNF. So yeah, Del Rey dropped her, Agent dropped her, Limited Book Boxes dropped her. Yeah, it was a bunch of stuff. Exactly. I agree with you, Ava, that the steps needed to do what she did. That's very meticulous. That's not what meds make you do. And meds don't make you racist. Anyway.
Meds don't make you racist.
Yeah. So, yeah, Goodreads. I'll remove it, DNF it. Storygraph. I have a DNF shelf, I'll admit, but it's for...
I DNF a lot.
Oh, I do too. Yeah, I do too. Because I love paranormal stories and I love paranormal mysteries in general.
Yeah,
like,
but finding paranormal thrillers is like, I get erotica.
yeah, I get erotica.
Mismarketed entirely.
Yeah.
Miscategorized.
Or I just get, it's so heavy on the romance. And then, like, I picked up a mystery book for a reason. I know it's paranormal, and paranormal romance is a huge genre, but I don't want a heavy romance. I picked up a mystery for a reason. If I wanted a paranormal romance, I would have gotten a paranormal romance.
I do thrillers. I call Hope's Chest cyberpunk thriller. And
I think that's accurate.
And like, that's the category. You know, like,
I didn't go crazy with, like, trying to figure out what my category, like, I didn't try to niche it into something that it wasn't. It's paranormal. It's a mystery. The only thing that I, like, niche it under is that since there is police procedural in it, I do put it under police procedural, and I do put it under African American heroine, or main character.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's a big thing. 5 chapters, Eva, I don't have that much time to invest in a DNF.
Oh, that's Mama.
Oh, that's Mama. I'm sorry, not Ava. Ava, I was looking at Ava right below. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mama. But, yeah, just started DNF as soon as you want to.
Me too.
Dredge through. If the first page or two is really terrible, I will DNF then. I'm just like, nope. But that makes me wonder why I picked that book up in the first place.
There's no hook in the first paragraph. Like, you've lost me at go.
Like I said, I'll give it a page or two. I'll sometimes there's a lead in for that hook. Because
the terrible part is I've DNF'd, like, friends' books.
I have too. I was honest with them.
I don't know if I can be honest.
Well, I wasn't totally honest. I wasn't like, I just told them the book wasn't for me. And then if they asked me more, then I gave more to it. But like, if they knew I bought it, etc., and they were wondering why I didn't review, because I do try to review. I usually reserve, like, I know this is weird, but I usually reserve like a week or so every, I don't know, 4 or 5 months or something. And I go in and put all my books on Goodreads and then move them around where they're supposed to be, like on the shelves they're supposed to be. I finished it, I didn't finish it, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And then I do all the reviews for them. And of course,
I try to review as soon as I'm done reading it.
Yeah.
And I finish so few books. Well, I'm really hard to entertain. Like,
yeah.
And I only review stuff that I can actually finish.
That's true. I try, like, I used to take reviews all the time. And do reviews for people all the time. And it was fine once upon a time when I had the energy and the time to do it. But now that I don't, it feels weird to me to not review, but I'm a lot pickier than I used to be. Not pickier, I guess I'm just more knowledgeable in writing. And so I'm the same way with TV, movies, the theater. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. I know what writing should be. Yeah, the whole burner phones for some of the accounts, that's just way too, it's just way too much. And I agree with you. It's hard to keep up with our own socials. How, why? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. If erotica and spicy romance is in the story and it's not specifically a romance story, I don't mind it, but it does, I agree with you, it does have to have a purpose for either the plot or the character arc, some sort of development. It's got to do something. It has to push something. Yeah, I don't know what meds those were. Well, I do know what meds cause you to incredibly focus, but they're supposed to be for other things, supposed to be for those of us who are a little neurodivergent to actually have normal focus. But gives everybody who's not neurodivergent extreme focus. I can only admit I can only say that that's probably what I can only guess, at least. If it's an indie book, you give it a while. Depends on how many books they have. And I do. I go and look at, when I pick up a book, I'll go while I'm reading it and I'll check and see how many other books they've published. If they've published quite a few, I won't give it very long.
It's crazy because, I have a couple of books by a couple of friends that have publishers. They small press, but they're traditionally published. And I need a hook. I even the prose has to be good, or there has to be conflict, or there has to be action in some fashion. So waking up in a bed, looking in the mirror.
The boring stuff. I have extreme prejudice and dislike for books that start up with somebody woke up, and I
did it, and I did it.
It happens. We all do it,
But her routine was different than the average bear, so
that goes into character development. You're establishing your character, and all right, fine. But somebody just waking up, and if it's Miles Morales who's waking up last minute because he's got to go on a Spidey call, but he's also got to write his midterm, and he's tumbling out of bed, that's an okay wake up.
I think I rewrote my first chapter because I originally had her just waking up and hopping online, but I needed her to show that, there's this image of a rat maze, but it's just barreled straight through the rat maze instead of
just bore through. Just was
just go through the wall.
Yeah,
I needed an example of that sort of mentality that she had. Yeah,
I understand. I would DNF for the same reason, Mama.
Mm-hmm.
I would do it if it serves zero purpose. I don't see the point of it. That's just some sicko getting their jollies off. Oh, writers. What are we gonna do about them? I mean, we be writing. That's all we do. We be writing. Yeah, I never expect reviews. I will ask if they would please go in and at least rate it. Don't have to type out a review.
I asked nicely, and it doesn't work. Arcs, I've received nothing out of arcs.
Arcs. Oh, I could tell you some nightmare stories about arcs and copyright violations.
It's hard enough. Oh, that sucks. It's hard enough to lost my train of thought. I'm grasping at straws.
That's okay. By the time we get to my stream at the end of the day for both of us, we're both brain can only focus on one thing at a time. No, so I went in. I usually will ask people if they tell me they bought my book. I'd be like, hey, good or bad, if you don't mind at least giving me a star rating on something, Amazon, Goodreads, whatever, Safari, whatever, I'd love it. You don't have to write me a review, and you aren't obligated to give me a rating, but it would be really nice of you. And I've had some friends that, they've gone out and done that. Just a rating. I've also had friends that were like, your book wasn't for me. I would rate it personally for me as like a less than 3-star. So I'm just letting you know. But most of those friends will tell me why. Like, kind of a thing. And 99% of the time, Sako, it's my foul mouth. It's the fact that in my books, I use a lot of explicatives. Why? Because my main character curses a lot.
Oh,
I do have...
Start. Oh.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who are not... they're not big fans of cussing for some reason. I don't know why.
My brother hated it when we took the Lord's name in vain.
Okay, I can see that. People have...
He was a preacher, so, like, yeah, deep down inside, it like, really got his goat.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something that genuinely bothers someone, then, yeah, I get that completely. I'm not sure, I don't understand
no problem with cursing. Cursing is one thing, but taking the Lord's name in vain, like
that was a problem. Got it.
That was a problem.
Ooh, not quite 25% in. DNF'd an indie book recently. That was after a while of wanting to, and then having that final straw moment. Pacing. I can't stress enough for books.
Me too.
You can have the most lackluster, it can't be a bad plot, but you can have a lackluster plot. You can have kind of lackluster characters for the most part, or stereotypical, or, whatever, cookie cutter.
Yeah, cookie cutter.
Formulaic, whatever. But if your pacing is a slog to get through, or if it's like breaking your neck whiplash, then yeah, that's a big thing for me. And I DNF for pacing a lot. I also DNF for like cliched expositional writing, like describing themselves by looking into a mirror. That bothers me. Unless they're just noting one feature or something like that. Like they were cleaning up the mascara that had ran down under their blue eyes. That I could get. But don't tell me exactly what they look like in the mirror. That bothers me.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure out the time period for a DNF. Characters acted like the 1920s. So many modern mentions kept jumping me out. Yeah, if you pull me out too many times, I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt. But if you pull me out, yeah, I don't mind familiar starts to books, scenes and familiar starts and things like that. Like Once Upon a Time, it was a dark and stormy night. I'm okay with that opening. Once Upon a Time, it was a dark and stormy night. As I lay in my bed, I'm going to have an issue. I'm going to be like, yeah, did they just wake up? Kind of a thing. But what should you watch, anime or Thanksgiving? I am not sure what that comment was.
Thanksgiving
about.
The movie? There's a horror movie out now.
Yeah, there's a horror movie. Yeah, Thanksgiving. So it would depend on what anime. You're watching Chainsaw Man and a horror movie Thanksgiving. That's hard to compare. You're watching Sailor Moon and a horror movie Thanksgiving. I'm probably going to go with the horror movie. I like Sailor Moon, but I'm probably going to go with the horror movie. So it would depend. Ooh, Alice was all a dream. Spoiler! Hit the stars on the Kindle. That's strange. Should be able to go in and see if they've, pulled them out. Okay, I know we've got 8 billion more comments, and I love it. Keep it coming, y'all. But I think we should do at least one more sprint. Yeah, at least one more.
One more sprint.
So let me get that clock back down to 20. Okay, we are ready to sprint again in 3, 2, 1. Sprint! See y'all, as Sako says, on the other side. Beep, 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 y'all. I figure that's a little more pleasant than the extremely annoying alarm sound that is on this one. I don't know that for certain. I'm just assuming that my voice is more pleasurable than a very loud alarm.
I like your beat deep.
You like my beep beeps? I thought at some point I might get around to just recording it, and then when I do my own countdown timers or whatever, having that actually literally be the end with just the beep 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 beep.
Started with Howler, I think, which was the name of the timing program that I used when I first started writing. And I got so used to that being my warning and prompt that I when I made my own timers, I used the same sound bites.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. So that'd be cool. I am absolutely the comment, the 90s comment, like the 90s insults are gorgeous in the comment section tonight. So like it's just hilarious. It's basically 1993 again in the comment section, and I'm brought back to Sister Act 2, where she's out with all the kids on the court, on the basketball court at school, and she's like, no, let me tell you about Yo Mama, when they're trying to like get the best of Whoopi Goldberg. For anybody who hasn't seen it, it's a funny show. It's one of my favorites. But here we got Your Mama's So Yellow that she walked outside smiling, and everyone started singing, I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. There are now commercials for slip-on Skechers. Mm-hmm. And that the 20-somethings think it's new. Yeah, mm-hmm. The Gen Zs, yeah, they do. But I don't care. Gen Z can do anything they want. By my standards right now, they can like ugly shoes, they can bring back weird-ass fashion. I don't care. They're the fuck around and find out generation. And I respect them for it.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah. RC remembers when commercials were so epic that there were annual award shows for them. I do remember that. That was fun.
Remember Super Bowl commercials?
Those are still a thing. Weirdly.
No. Half of those ads have already been airing.
Well, I guess that's true. Nobody really goes all out with like a blockbuster one anymore. They
Not
usually
just that, but the whole break was back in the 90s. The whole break was actually new commercials that were like epic.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, everybody streams it if they can. I mean, most everybody streams it, and then everybody leaves or skips the ads if they're allowed to. Mm-hmm. I mute. If I can't skip an ad, I mute all the way through them.
My husband does the same.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. On top of that, they tend to be like 50 times louder than whatever it is I'm watching. And not sped up to the 1.7 time, 2-time speed that I watch everything at anymore. So, let's see. We've got Your Dad's So Gone. Even the James Webb can't find him in a galaxy far, far away. RC apparently... RC has some 80s and 90s commercial playlists. That's pretty cool. Let's see. RC says, your dad's so fat that when he sat on a dollar bill and when he got up, it was 8 dimes and 4 nickels. Grandpa's so old, Noah almost made him get off the boat. We were really, really not nice to like curvy, fluffy people and not nice to old people in the 90s, because now that you're saying these, I remember a lot of those, which was always somebody's so fat, somebody's so ugly, or somebody's so old. Those were a lot of them. There you go, y'all. Here's a good link that you can go to. You can get an hour of 80s commercials. Oh, you good there? Oh, that sounds rough. That looks rough, not sounds. That was a very charming shade of tomato you turned for a moment. It was a very charming shade. I liked it.
Goodness.
Did you go down the wrong pipe, or? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you got it out of the pipe. Oh, it's all good. Hey, Dad's so old. When God said, "Let there be light," he flipped the switch. I was just like, that's it. I'm going back to the 90s. I don't know about that, but I don't want to go back to the 90s. That was just weird. RC says that Gen Z are
the literally generation.
The literally generation. They do say literally for things that aren't literally a lot.
Webster has redefined the word literally.
It can be used as an expression, a figurative expression now, which is, I'm like, okay, well, all right. Yeah, the commercials, well, for me, it's always been the halftime show, but for me, it was the halftime show when it was still marching bands. Mm-hmm. Even if they were epic marching bands, like Atlanta's A&T, I mean, that's an epic marching band, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I didn't like so much when they had performers start to come on with them, but... Oh, hi, Alpha One Solus. You snuck in here during our last sprint. We are probably going to chat for a little while, and that's okay. You're not late. We're going to talk for probably a little while before the end of the stream, because we've got about 13 minutes left to go, thereabouts. So, yeah, there was a lot that was tolerated in the 90s that, there's a lot that people said in the 90s and somehow got recorded that they are now getting canceled for. So there's that. But most of it is pretty deserved. So, comfortable people invent reasons to be uncomfortable. Yeah, I like to clutch the pearls. My... Speaking of which, my wife got me some amazing earrings for one of my winter gifts. So this is just one of them, and I don't know. I'm gonna see if it will.
That's amazing.
Huh?
That's amazing.
Yeah. So little fuck the patriarchy earrings. They are solid too. Like, I don't know where she ordered them from. I'm gonna have to ask her so that I can get some more jewelry and earrings of a badassery nature from this person if they make more. Let's see. Oh, where was I? Oh yeah, the canceled part. But yeah, so these were pretty cool. I really like them. I don't know that people have forgotten the word actually. Because I hear people say it a lot.
Actually became a describing word of to say you're wrong and this is why.
Yeah, it's usually being explained something to or told off, or as actually. It usually comes. Yeah, it comes with like that mental head motion. A ring for your youngest, Mama, that says "be kind" on the outside and kind of a bitch on the inside. I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, I try to use them. Mama, I try to use literally, actually, and figuratively properly, but occasionally misusing them for the point of emphasis is fine. I don't mind. I don't mind. But yeah. RC has a theory that literally is part of an AI mind virus.
Oh.
All right. I likes. the opposite. The dark protects the light inside. I'm not light. I'm definitely not all light and fluffy on the inside. I'm a salty bitch in general, but I tend to be. It's even saltier in my head.
Mm-hmm.
That's what little I filter it. That comes. I mean, I actually filter it quite heavily because if I said everything I wanted to say,
Yeah,
or write, or and Twitter is my my shit talking. That's where I tend to shit talk. I funnel all of my shit talking into Twitter, which, in my opinion, is all Twitter's good for anymore. Anyway,
I closed my account.
I'm getting there, but it's still. I still have enough of a presence there that I still have a little bit of influence.
He had a pretty good influence, but they were like a mishmash of like comics, both stand up and drawn, and art and friends, like IRL friends. So my circles were so segmented away from each other that it was hard to keep track.
It can be a little difficult, like, because I have a very segmented as well. So I have a lot of friends, of course, a lot of friends and family, and I have writers, of course, and then I have my advocacy and activism stuff that I do, and some of that's political and some of it's not. Although a lot of activism stuff tends to circle back around to or start at bad politics.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I have a lot of artists, of course, that are on there as well, musicians and stuff like that. My big thing is I'm what's weirdly not an overlap of community for me. It are my cyclists. I have so many people that ride bicycles on there because we did a lot. It was part of our last decade, pretty heavy. And then they're the only ones that really don't overlap. They overlap a little bit with like the advocacy and activism stuff, and a few of them are artists. I don't think any of them write, but yeah. There are a few hashtag chats that I belong to. I don't mute the political things on Twitter because I need to know how people are twisting the things that I care about and support, how they're twisting them for their own agenda, because that happens a lot. Funny stuff, comic stuff, horror stuff, animal stuff, timeline cleanser. Thank you for that, RC. Like I said, Twitter is where I argue, and I confine it to Twitter. I don't argue with people anywhere else. I don't argue on Facebook. I don't argue anywhere else. It's just my Twitter is my shit feed. And then I have a few hashtag groups. I refuse to call it that. The owner can't be bothered to use his own daughter's name and pronouns properly. So I won't call his thing that he decided to rename. Yep.
I need to log off.
Yeah. Okay. I know you got thing to do. So do your thing, and then we'll get wrapped up.
Okay. Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as Cass Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. You can usually find me on Tuesday mornings and Tuesday evenings, either on this channel or on my own channel. And you should drop by sometime. I would love to see you.
Absolutely should. Sako is a wealth of life. That's, yeah, you are. You always put me in a better mood.
Aww.
I like just generally chatting with you. I like writing with you. I love watching you do art. I could just sit and watch you do art whenever.
I need to get back onto Twitch. I gotta do it through StreamYard now, and like it's not my favorite.
Yeah. It doesn't, StreamYard doesn't play nicely with Twitch's interface very well, but it can be done. I do like that Twitch has finally decided that they're not going to yank affiliate status and monetization from people that dual stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time.
Oh,
So,
I thought.
They came out with that a few months ago, I think. I'll try and see if I can find the. I found it on YouTube, but I'll see if I can find the. I think I liked the video, so I'll go back through my history and look for it. But yeah, they're not taking away monetization. They were losing a lot of their big name Twitch streamers who already had, who just couldn't do.
Jumping to YouTube.
They were jumping to YouTube. They were coming back to it, which I thought was kind of interesting because a lot of them jumped from YouTube to Twitch when Twitch really hit big, and it was just like, okay, well, see the way the wind
was paying out.
When Twitch was paying properly, yeah. So that's a big thing because you don't have a cell. Well, I guess that's right. It won't accept your will it not accept your landline phone number as an authentication? Because you got a computer. I mean, so yeah, YouTube was also pulling their monetization. They've stopped doing that though. So I think they're realizing they're just losing people. They're losing too much money in ad revenue and stuff. It can't text a landline. Oh, that's so stupid. It should just send you an email and be done with it. If you want to verify something, great. But anyway, yeah. So to get wrapped up, you all know me. My name is BC. I am BC Brown of BC Brown Books. I'm also known as the Writing Weirdo. You can find me in some places. Sako's links are down below. My links, all my stuff down below. You can pretty much just find me at BC Brown Books. Yeah, I mean, you kind of just find me that way. It's pretty easy. But yeah, so I want to thank everybody for, hanging with us tonight and just coming in, letting us be more chatty than usual because I haven't been able to talk to Sako in a while. I haven't been able to talk to y'all.
It's been like a month. Yeah.
It's been a month. It was just always bedtime. And I thought I was going to have to cancel tonight's because I was having all sorts of equipment malfunctions. Worked fine yesterday. And then my microphone wouldn't work. My camera wouldn't work. My lighting wouldn't work. Nothing would work this evening. And I was like, you have to be kidding me. I was like, what is this? I have Gremlins only on Tuesdays. So anyway, but I'm glad I didn't. And I'm glad I got to catch up with everyone. Check us out next week. Yes. Next week on Sako's channel. I will probably dual stream it to my channel as well. So, no worries there. But yeah, check us out then. And everybody have a wonderful beginning of 2024 so that it can pave the way for a wonderful 2024 for everyone, for the rest of this year and all of 2024. We will see you later. Night, y'all.